Today, you are going to graph a parabola given standard form. So, first of all, the y-intercept is this last number here. So the y-intercept would be at -7. So I'm going to take this dot, go along the y-axis, and I'm going to go down to -7. The graph goes 10 in each direction. So if this is -10, 9, 8, 7. Making it a little bit easier. Then we have to factor it. So we have to get our two sets of parentheses. So we have to find two numbers that multiply to make -7 that would add to 6. All right, so I'm probably going to have a 7 and a 1, and I have to then figure out which one is negative. Well, 7 minus 1 is 6, whereas if I flipped it and I had -7 and 1, that would be -6. So I'm going to use this pair here. And for today, it does not matter which one is in your first parentheses. So x, +7, and then x, -1. All right, x-intercepts. So either one of these has to be equal to 0. And the point of that is, so let's say, I'm going to just mark some random x-intercepts. So x-intercepts are points along the x-axis. If we look at this one here, its coordinates are 1, 0. This one, it is 3, 0. This one would be 5, 0. So one of the numbers is always equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to put like over here equals 0 because that would be what the y is worth. So one of these has to be equal to 0. So let's say this one is equal to 0. So what we can do then is we can add 1 to both sides. So we can add this one and add a 1 here. And so we would have 1 equals that x. So one of our possible x-intercepts is +1. So I'm going to put this dot here, +1, and that was just a total coincidence that I had drawn those example points right there. All right, then let's say instead 0 is equal to the x plus 7. So we would -7 from both sides to get that x by itself. So -7 is equal to x, and that of course is 0. So our other vertex, x-intercept, sorry, would be at -7. So right here. All right, so far that doesn't totally look like a parabola. So let's figure out where the vertex is. Okay, it's probably going to be down here somewhere, so we can try to make a U. To get the x-coordinate of the vertex, we're going to use this equation right here. -b, or the opposite of b, divided by 2a. I'm going to clear the stuff that I have so far. All right, the coefficient in front of x is a. Okay, so currently it's a 1. Then the coefficient in front of the x with no exponent is your b, and then this last number would be your c. So the opposite of b would be -6. And then we have to divide that by 2 times 1, which is 2. And that gives us -3. So for the vertex, the x-coordinate is -3. For the y-coordinate, we are going to take this -3, plug it in up here for x in both spots, and then solve for y. So y equals -3 squared plus 6 times -3 minus 7. -3 squared is +9. And then 6 times -3 is -18. I could write plus -18, but I'm just going to do -18. And then -7. Okay, I'm going to combine these negatives first. That's like a horrible day. So I lost $18 and I lost $7 more. Altogether, I lost $25. And I still have the 9. So 9 minus 25. So that would be negative, oh my gosh, brain fart here, negative 16. All right, so right here, negative 16. So we would take this vertex point here, and we would go backwards, negative 3. Ooh, and that actually totally makes sense because that is 4 away from each of these orange dots. And then we'd have to go down to negative 16. And actually, we won't really have enough space for that because here's 10. So it'd be like far down here. I can't really go past this spot. My other option is if this doesn't totally fit, I could instead skip count by 2s along each of these lines. But we'll just have this one be an estimate. All right, I'm going to grab a different color here a second. So then we would connect those. And there you go.